Listen, it does not need to be a new year, a new you. It just needs to be a new year, a healthier you. Because sure, okay, they trying to take us down at every front. So get some TLC products and up that metabolism and up that energy and up that immune system, okay, that digestive system. Get that all together with these TLC products right here. And don't forget, okay, sign up for ifyoucanmove.com and become a part of the online gym and shed the pounds, honey. We're starting a new challenge on January 3rd, and I would love to see y'all there. Get the links down below. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for Belle Collective. This episode was extremely annoying to me. This episode was extremely infuriating to me. And I'm at a place where that's not what I come here for. That's not what I'm here for at all. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that people want us to have these conversations, but at this point in the game, if you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. If you can't see, it's because you don't want to see. And I'm not going to live in the ignorance, in the habitual bullshit. I'm not going to live in that with you. And I feel like this episode, that is what happened. We had Black women deciding to live in the bullshit with Kline and her whiteness and her superiority, and somehow her not knowing that her family is racist because her great-great-great-grandfather is Jefferson Davis. Just like Mississippi just got the Confederate flag taken down, we just got that name changed on the street. Okay? It's now Norman, no, and it's not Norman. It's somebody else's name. I forgot. I forgot what they changed it to. Yeah, but they changed. Yeah, they changed Jeff Davis. Yes, Fox address has changed. Yes, it has. Okay, but yes. So this episode was extremely annoying to me, and I want to start off there. Okay, now let's go ahead and go through the scenes, shall we? So we have another scene of Tamra meeting with someone to talk about what she wants to do with her life now that she's in her 40s, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. I was bored. I wasn't listening to this conversation. I'm sure it was something about being a businesswoman, a career woman, and also wanting to have a family, and, you know, the juxtaposition between choosing to have a career over having a family, and if you have regrets, and what she's going to do, and if she should leave Jackson for more TV opportunities, and all of that, all right? And what ends up happening from this scene is that you got to trust in the Lord, okay? Trust that the Lord has ordered your steps, okay? And you need to go and pray that he has ordered your steps, okay? And if you are not in that frame of mind with it, then you need to be in a place of trusting your instincts about the decisions you make for your life. You need to be about trusting your gut feelings. You need to be about being able to listen to what is going on inside of yourself when certain opportunities and decisions are put in front of you. Truth of the matter, okay? Relying on your own discernment that, whether you want to believe it or not, the Lord has given you. All right, let's move on. So Letitia goes to meet with the contractor, a city council member, I think it was Nikita, and an appraiser, so that they can see about this property on Ferris Street that she wants to purchase and revitalize. So we're trying to get the ball moving, okay, with this situation, which I'm happy about. Great. But we find out that the building that Letitia wants to purchase, she cannot purchase. They don't want to sell it. And that it's going to cost about $2 million to bring it up to code and to renovate it into what she wants it to be. Now, she wants it to be like a bistro down below and like some other type of situation, like a renting spot up top, I believe. Either way, I don't understand who owns the building and is sitting on it and allowing it to look like that. But then y'all want to talk about how it's historic and needs to be preserved. So you're adding extra money on top of it. To me, it sounds like bullshit that you put in place to make it hard for somebody to gentrify a Black neighborhood. Like, to me, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're trying to make it more difficult, whoever owns it, for somebody to come in, fix the shit up, and to make money off of that property. I don't understand how it is fiscally responsible, and I don't know a lot about business, y'all, so don't look at me for that, all right? But what I am going to say is I don't know how fiscally responsible it is to lease a building to spend $2 million on renovations. I don't know how much sense that makes. To me, I only really recoup my investment for sure if I own it. That's the only way I recoup my investment, because even if I don't make enough money on the business that I'm going to put there, I can then revitalize it and then sell it to somebody who will put a business there. Okay. So to me, it just seems like I want to know who the hell owns it. That's what I want to know. Something about that bothers me. Something about that, in my spirit feels like it's some foolishness going on there. Okay. So Marie takes her son to a therapist and plays the audio of him screaming at her again. And I didn't really go into this last time I reviewed this, but when she said it, when she pulled it out, I was bothered. I was like, why are you recording him? Why do you need to prove to your father that he has been disrespectful towards you? Why is that something you need to prove to someone? You are the parent, which is what made me feel like she has done something in his childhood, not been there in some capacity. Something has happened along the way in order for him to feel as if he does not have to respect her. Because why do you need to prove anything to anybody as it pertains to your son? A grown-ass man, I might add. Okay. So, all of that just feels off to me, like somebody that's trying to make up for a mistake that they made. You know what I'm saying? But he says to the therapist that he feels like he's still going to school, so he doesn't understand why it matters what school he goes to. And I feel like you know exactly why it matters what school you go to. Because the closer you are to those children, the more responsible you have to be for them. So you want to leave so you really don't have to be responsible. And then it's like, well, I'm in school. But at the end of the day, sir, you had 3 children in one summer. You need to be responsible for those children. I don't give a damn how you feel about it. And if that's what you wanted to do, I would not be financially supporting you or the children or the mamas at all. At all. I don't care if I'm the grandmother. You are not going to rely on me in such a way where you get to disrespect me, and then ask me for so much help that a normal 22-year-old man who has 3 children should not be asking of his mother. I'm sorry. You're out of your damn mind. And I just want to say, and listen, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with helping your kids. There is nothing wrong with helping your kids. But it is about what the help does for them. To me, it seems as if you don't need any more of my help. You need to see what it really is. You need to be out here living on the street so you can see what it really is to take care of yourself and 3 children. Since you feel like it's okay to disrespect me, since you feel like it's not important that I have a say in the decisions that you make, even though you don't take care of yourself or your 3 dependents that you went out here and made. Like condoms ain't everywhere. Like you couldn't put a condom on your penis. So now you have 3 children that you're trying to not take care of. I see you, sir. Okay? And I feel like this is some bullshit going on. Okay? I'm sorry. I just do. Marie talks about how she's been taking care of him since she was 18, going above and beyond. So she does not understand, I think, 2 things. How he can disrespect her in this way, how he can still require so much from her, and also why it is that he won't give that to his children the way she's giving it to him. And I'm like, that's because you spoiled him. You gave him too much. You didn't give him enough responsibility as a child, which is why now as an adult, he doesn't see that he has any. Like that's the problem with a lot of y'all. Y'all do not teach y'all children responsibility for the sake of teaching them responsibility. You feel like because you have money or because you have the wherewithal, they shouldn't have to do anything. You think that's love. That's not love. That is creating somebody, an adult, that will forever be dependent upon you in some way because you have not taught them how to take care of themselves. Period. The therapist says that he needs to be a better person. And he also says that he needs to check Marie as well. Don't record another conversation that you and your son have, because in all honesty, it's antagonistic. It seems like you're trying to have an issue with him. It seems as if you're trying to get that response out of him when you do shit like that. It's also invasive. I don't know what you have to gain from that. He breaks it down in basketball terminology for the boy, who's a grown-ass man. And he says that they're in breakdown and this was a good therapy session and they can work from here and there is love here. And I would just like to see some of that from that damn son. Letitia and Antoinette go to an African-American history museum. Energy is very dark. Energy is very deep. Okay, it's very emotional. Antoinette says she's serving her people with her dental practice. And that's very important to her. After, you know, putting things in perspective, you see what it is we've gone through as a people. And the atrocities that have been, you know, performed against us. Like, it's just insane. It's insane. And the fact that people get to act like it doesn't happen and it doesn't exist as if it wasn't something that they used to enjoy as a pastime. Like, I'm tired of giving people that break to be ignorant of something that not only do you benefit from, but you live in this just like everybody else. You live in this. You really do. And the idea that you get to ignore such atrocities, the fact that you get to cry, the fact that you get to get some type of sympathy from the people you abuse, is abuse within itself. Re-victimization, traumatization, gaslighting. It is infuriating. And watching them walk through this museum and see everything, not even everything, because you can't possibly see everything. All of the instances, all of the times a Black person had to lower their eyes, all of the times a white person got to decide if somebody in the town died that day just because they could. Like, word. But you get to cry. This is too much for you. It'd be different if this stopped, but y'all are still hanging people and calling them suicides. Like, y'all have just figured out a way to abuse us in a way that we don't see it all the time. We don't recognize it all the time. And then when we do, it drives us crazy sometimes. So it makes us have to detach from it, have to ignore it, because if not, we would chemically combust. Like, it is just, it's insane. You're tired of hearing about it. We're tired of going through it. We're tired of feeling it. We're tired of having this conversation. We're tired of having to soothe and educate you on something that you do. Like, y'all can miss me with the bull and the shit. Okay? So even though we hadn't gotten to that yet, that's just where my heart went at the end of the day. Antoinette and Letitia have a conversation about the brunches. Antoinette doesn't really like those brunches, but she's going to go to the next one to support Letitia. I like the two of them. I really do. Tamra meets with her ex-boyfriend, Desmond. He's one of those men that aged very well, because the younger pictures, But him sitting there in front of her as an older man, very nice looking. She's all giggly and shit, okay? They talk about the history of their relationship. They were together for 16 years. I'm trying to understand why you would be in a relationship with a man for 16 years and y'all were not married. I want somebody to make that make sense for me, because that sounds stupid. And now y'all are trying to figure out if y'all want to make another go of it. Y'all are on the same page in life. She says the relationship went downhill because he wasn't being romantic, because he was trying to push her to succeed. So apparently her career in some way must have gotten in between their relationship. But I'm confused exactly as to how. Like, was he your manager? Like, what was happening to where you know, the business relationship became most important and he was pushing you. You're an adult. Like, it's cool to push somebody, but when you are a spouse, when you are a lover, then that should always be in the vein in which you work from. Meaning, if you're not coming from a romantic place with this shit, then that's no longer what the relationship is, and we need to redefine boundaries. Okay? But you don't just be in a managerial relationship with somebody and all they do is manage you business wise and there's no romance in the situation, because then what the are we doing? Okay. So I'm just real confused about what happened in their relationship, really. I think it's great that she wants to find somebody to be with and all of that. But Tamra, to me, is just really nails on a chalkboard. And I'm going to just say that and we're going to move on. So Letitia is having her brunch and Tamra is hosting. Antoinette goes over to Marie and, you know, to give her a hug and say hello to her. And Marie kind of stops her like, oh, you don't have your entourage with you today? Oh, you don't have all those people with you today? It's like, bitch, why you can't just take the hello and keep it pushing? Why do you have to come at this girl like this? And she's like, we don't have an issue. Like, I don't know what the problem is, but we don't have an issue. And it's like, y'all may not have an issue, Antoinette, but you've said shady shit and she knows that. Letitia definitely probably had a conversation with her off camera about the way you were questioning what it was Marie did for a living. So let's not do that. But I also feel like, Marie, when are you going to act like an adult in the situation? A simple, how you doing? would have been fine. I know there are a lot of y'all that don't like to, you know, do that with people. But I guess because I am from the South, I have an understanding of sometimes when it ain't that deep. So just, how you doing, girl? All right, let's move on from here. If you're not going to act ugly, I'm not going to act ugly. For what? It's too hard for me to act ugly with people. Like, that takes up too much energy for me. So I'd rather just be cordial and let it be what it is. That's just the type of person that I am. So I understand people that like to, you know, keep their distance from folks they don't like, and I respect that. But at the same time, it's not like they actually had a conversation for Marie to be this, you know, aggy about it. Say hello and move the hell on, okay? Like, I don't know why it had to be all of that. So it's a new beginning for them. So they start the whole brunch thing. Fallon is there, and I don't know why. I don't know why Antoinette invited her. I think that she thought it would be a good opportunity for Fallon, but to me, it just kind of seemed like another time when Carlos wants to force an interaction between somebody he obviously can tell is a problematic white person who doesn't see that they're problematic. He knows that. I'm telling you, Carlos, you know who this lady is and what it was going to show up as. And I definitely think this scene was something that was orchestrated for the desired effect. And then for that, I clap my hand to you, because you got the desired emotion that you wanted, which was for us to be pissed off and extremely annoyed and wanted to jump through the screen on whoever the person was. So the affirmations are weird to me. I think affirmations are something that people should do with themselves in the privacy of their homes. I don't think affirmations are things you should do in a room full of people, or affirmations that don't fit for everybody in the room. You have a man, you have a white woman in the room, and you are doing affirmations for black women only. Even though I understand that, even though I get it, I still feel like the idea that we're doing those affirmations, it was just uncomfortable for me. It was very uncomfortable for me. So I imagine it was uncomfortable for, the white lady in there, you know what I'm saying, who probably already felt uncomfortable being around all black women. Like, they act like they're cool about it, but there aren't a lot of white people that are really comfortable being around all black people. So even though Kline is friends with Antoinette, and I believe Antoinette has shared what her experience has been as a black woman in Mississippi and being in an interracial relationship, I am sure she has shared those things with Kline. So for Kline to act like she doesn't know what her people do, does and all of that shit, I just felt like on so many fronts, it was her choosing to act ignorant in order to invoke sympathy and gaslight the black women in the room, because she felt wrong by them saying that they have been wronged by other white people. I don't know what planet that you live on, but in 2020, you do not have an excuse living in fucking Mississippi to act like you do not know that these women have had these experiences, and there have been many, many, many more experiences. Maybe you need to go to the African American History Museum. Maybe that's a place that white people should take vacations to every year, because it baffles me that you can live in this society, know the history of this country, find pride in it, and turn around and tell me that you don't know what happens. So I totally think that Kline was on some bullshit and that she hijacked this moment. Okay? Because the women start to share experiences about how they have felt about racism, what they've experienced in the workplace. And Antoinette expressed a very valid feeling that her skin tone has never saved her from feeling the brunt of racism in the workplace. Meaning that, yes, she may have gotten the job and now she's the representative and she's a lighter representative for Black people. Yes, you could feel like that. But ultimately, she's had to work 3 times. It's hard to get in that room anyway. She still had to work harder. She still had to deal with the same attitudes and adversities because she still shows up in the room of white people as Black, regardless to her skin tone. Okay? So I thought that was something very valid to put out there. Because of the system of colorism, we often feel like everything always runs one way, and that is not necessarily the truth. There are so many nuances behind what we deal with because it has been done on mental, spiritual, and physical levels. Okay? So when you understand that, you understand that there are so many trappings in the mind that have been created because of the system of racism. There aren't many things that you can't trace back to it as far as Black people and the issues that we have in this country or even in this world for that matter. Okay? So yes, pressing on. At some point, Kline can't take this conversation anymore, so she gets up and she walks out. She's uncomfortable. I didn't care that she was uncomfortable. And I felt like if Antoinette wanted to go and see about her friend, that was fine. But Letitia going to see about her and then the other friend leaving the table to go and see about her was too much for me. It was way too much for me. She did not need 3 Black women around her catching her white women's tears, because she can't deal with what other people have done to y'all. Yeah, I would not have been the one. And I believe that Antoinette was trying to be patient with her friend, but there was an exhaustion behind it. There was I am tired of having to deal with you in this way because you're my friend, so I don't understand why you don't understand. It's not like we haven't talked about it before. So when they go back into the room and she hijacks the conversation and tells us that her and her family aren't like this, but Jefferson Davis is one of her ancestors, I was like, so do you not know anything about him or something? I'm so confused as to how you think you don't come from a racist family when Jefferson Davis is your ancestor who fought in the war to keep back Black people as slaves. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Your family's legacy, okay, is fighting for slavery to keep Black people enslaved and less than a human. Yet you think you can detach yourself from racist white people? Girl, if you don't get the fuck out my face with this shit. At this point, Maria's had enough of this conversation and she decides that she gonna use, you know, her and her shoulders and this terrible dress she had on. The dress was terrible, y'all. I'm sorry. I wanted to say that. The ruching at the bottom, the one sleeve, I just thought it was a mistake. Anyway, so she says that's enough. This is Letitia's, you know, brunch. Can we get back to her announcement? And in all honesty, I would have liked for us to get back to Letitia's announcement, because how many brunches are we going to go through before the announcement has been given? I feel like she does everything and talks about everything except for Ferris Street. And it works on my damn nerves. It should have been the first thing that y'all talked about. Why do you continue to wait until people have destroyed your event before you want to bring up Ferris Street? I do not understand it. Okay? At this point, the ladies are going back and forth. Marie done stood up out of her chair. Kline is, really annoyed and upset with her because, she's hijacked the moment from her. She was doing her white lady thing, and here comes Marie stumping on her white lady thing that she was doing. So she tells Marie that, she needed to be quiet because they were having a real conversation and something was really happening right there, and she should have just kept quiet. And Marie was like, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but this is not the 30s. I'm not your slave. And at some point she told her, well, come here. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. But they were both on one as far as I'm concerned. Kline was definitely doing too much. And I felt like it was the anger that she wanted to show the entire room. She gave it to Marie. Because Marie saying, can we get back to the topic at hand, shouldn't have received, it shouldn't have been all that. I don't care. It shouldn't have been all that. It shouldn't have been all of that from her. Okay. So I felt like it was time for Kline to go. That's how I felt about it. Okay. I feel like it wasn't Marie's place to say so. But I would love for Letitia at some point to stop being a mediator and take control of her events. And if that means telling Marie she needs to go and stand in a fucking vestibule until she collects herself, then so be it. But something needed to take place because neither Tamra or Letitia had control of that room at that point. Dekitha, the city council member who was there to discuss Ferris Street, gets up to leave. Y'all have this elder lady sitting at this table and y'all are screaming back and forth to one another very disrespectfully. And it was a mess. It was a damn shame and a mess. And I don't understand why we can't have a conversation without screaming and hollering. I'm 32 years old and I'm one of the loudest people I know. And there are times when I'm loud and I don't even know I'm loud. But I also realize that there are times when you have got to bring it back down, bitch. And you have got to self-regulate when it's time to bring it back down. Okay? And it should have been time to bring it back down. And I do understand her anger towards Kline. I really do. I would have liked for somebody to get this shit together before it completely imploded the way it did. A mess. Just, I don't even know what else to say, girl. But yeah, y'all, how y'all feeling about Belle Collective? I'm seeing a lot of bad reviews about the show. It's only episode 4 and I tend to give shows a chance. It's something to review, you guys. It's enough of y'all watching it for me to continue to review it, so I will. I really hope it gets better because where it is right now is I'm halfway annoyed and halfway bored. And the annoyance is what keeps me, coming back to have something to talk about. First, we were annoyed with Marie being little Bo Peep. Then we were annoyed with Latrice's cat daddy. And, now we're annoyed with Kline and again, kind of sort of with Marie for taking it to a level that it just didn't have to go to. I just feel like she once again is like at the center of some foolishness at somebody's event. And I just would really like for her to just play it back sometimes. Chill the hell out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, let Letitia handle her own event. But anyway, y'all, Letitia, whatever the hell her name is, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Subscribe to my secondary channel, Relax with Blue, just in case. And I will see y'all in the next one. All right, peace out.